3,280 pounds, little, I don't know, roughly 18-foot box hideout coming in on trade here at Hideout RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Great little couples camping floor plan. If you're done with the old family pop-up and you're just still looking for something small, or you're looking to try camping before you go neck deep into buying camping, this would be an awesome first-timers camper, especially for folks who have maybe limited capacity vehicles and you want to learn about camping before you go spending money on like a new truck and trailer package, because, you know, then you'll go broke in a hurry. Now, she looks to have been used, but pretty well kept. The owners seem to really know their way around an RV. They made a couple very small, simple, low-dollar improvements to the RV in a non-hillbilly jury-rig fashion. Basically, they've added some extra shelving to some cabinets that we'll get to see. And what we're looking at here, there is storage below that bed, and being a full 8-foot wide versus a 7.5 foot wide narrow body, like a lot of versions of this floor plan are, like, this is a really close match to what we call a 16 FQ Cherokee here at Hideout RV, or Wolf Pup as it were, except it's an 8-foot wide version. That does mean it weighs about 10% more, and normally it would cost about 10% more, but with this being in the used market, that won't be the case for you. It'll be, obviously, less than new. Easy walk-around bed. I mentioned storage below, but a full 8-foot wide is going to give you full dual closets on both sides of the bed. Now, they did opt for just an overhead shelf up here, but it's actually kind of intelligent where they put that power outlet, because what it did is it allowed them to give you a full-length hanging closet that's not going to jab you in the shoulder with a sharp corner when you roll over at night, and still give you a place to keep like an alarm clock or a phone or something plugged in and charging up there. I do like that larger window that does open for airflow on this side as well, for both campsite visibility as well as just general airflow over here, because the opposing window will also open for air. We will come back to the kitchen area. I just kind of wanted to give you a nice little panoramic view of everything before we dive here into the TV booth entertainment center. Also to point out the fact that this is completely carpetless, and this will be very easy to keep clean. The previous owners added the TV bracket that you see right there. Originally this RV would have had no TV bracket, so the folks put that in, but they were kind enough to leave it there and not to remove it, so you're not going to look at like exposed screw holes and scars, basically, because even though this is used, for most folks, it's going to be new to you, and my experience has been people still have more of like a new RV expectation, even in the used market. And one of the areas where a full 8-foot wide body stands out in comparison to the more common narrow body versions of this, like the 16 FQ Wolf Pup we'd have here at Hideout RV, is the dinette. It has the space to offer a full 4-person dinette, which can also fold down into a larger sleeping space. In terms of storage, you're going to find that they did what they could where they could. Over here you'll find from Keystone storage below that dinette bench, but this side over here is not a storage compartment. That's because there's like a thing down there, like maybe the furnace or the water heater or something. There's a thing down there you don't want cargo smashing into. Now, in all the overhead compartments, the previous owners did everyone who is going to own this camper later a favor, and they added shelving to the overhead cabinetry space right here and did a nice job of it. So that will double the effective overhead storage capacity you're going to get in that. And then you'll see that they kind of repeated the same thing over here in the kitchen overhead cabinetry. Now, you can also notice that the cabinetry over there is not sunken back from the microwave. That's one of those things that 8-foot wide campers don't usually have to do. Some still will, either to make the camper a little bit lighter, a little bit less money, or to feel bigger, but they knew how important storage was here, so they gave you every bit they could. Now we've got a traditional side mount air on this one, and that does help the overhead clearance not be too large, and as small as this camper is, that should keep up just fine. Down below here, they did a good job of giving you the prep space that they were able to do so, and one of the benefits of a wood skeleton travel trailer is it is much, much easier to put power outlets in the side walls of the camper as compared to under the overhead cabinets, which is a little trickier to actually use since appliances keep coming with shorter cables. A couple handy full extension plywood box drawers. You can see to the left of the drawers we do have our furnace, but the furnace is our Bluetooth stereo, and a roughly like truck camper sized, what is that, like a 3.7 cubic foot or something like that, fridge freezer. There is a tiny freezer pocket inside of that. Back here in the bathroom area, a very important note I wanted to look at in this one is that it's a tub, not a shower. Or no, backwards, it's a shower, not a tub. You know, I was so excited about that that I couldn't wait to get the words out that I jumbled them up in my head, but my wife will tell you I didn't get to where I am in life by being smart. I'm not really sure how I got to where I am in life. I'm one lucky dude, man. So full overhead vent and shower, skylight. Now over here you see that we've got a full medicine cabinet, not just a little mirror glued to the wall. And again, being 8 foot wide, they were able to make this countertop extra deep. So you've got good space here, but then you've also got great space behind the sink. And like I said, not just a mirror slapped against the side of the wall. Down below, again, they gave you the space that they could. But with this being so darn wide, frankly, that shelf right there, pretty generous. That'll get the job done. Now the inside's in good shape, but I think the outside even more so is in really good shape. What's also cool here with the space for that full-size bed, they had room for a full-side pass-through compartment in here, full size rather, not side, to give you space for those bigger folding chairs, your lawn games, or if you got a grandkid or anything like that, your little bag toss or your little bolo ball thing. I don't know if any bolo ball, ladder ball, don't know what it's called. I just know that when we play it, I'm a machine at that thing. I'm terrible at bag toss, or cornhole as it's called here in the Midwest. Don't know how well that phrase is going to translate across our great country, but understand it is a bag toss game that you play with kids. Okay, not getting any better. Moving on. Single axle, and of course the axle is a little heavier rated than a lot of 3,000-pound trailers to accommodate the extra weight and size of this 8 foot wide camper. You do have front and rear stabilizer jacks, and you do have a galvanized steel wheel well on that, so God forbid we do experience a flat tire, it will give you the opportunity to get this thing brought down from high speeds before the belted tire on that goes, to town, beating up the rest of the camper. The spare tire does not look like it's ever seen the sun. This does have a full walkable roof, despite the lack of ladder. Ladder's a good indicator, kind of like he's doing there on that new Freedom Express that we have coming in. A ladder's an indicator of a walkable roof, but not a guarantee. If a camper doesn't have a ladder, it may still have a walkable roof. It might not. And I have seen some campers slip into the marketplace recently that actually have ladders on the back on a non-walkable roof structure. So unfortunately, you can't even assume seeing a ladder gives you a walkable roof anymore. What is also cool in this is that it does have a seamless one-piece floor deck on here, which means no squeaks, and there's just less seams where stuff can kind of bend and buckle and twist and cause hiccups, Now, I specifically wanted to take a special moment to point out the awning on this little hideout. This is the sister to the Summerland series of single axle campers that we would carry here at Hideout RV. So it's something I was equipped to spot and assist you folks with, because at a glance, you're going to look at it, and visually it looks exactly like all the LCI power awnings. But you have to look really close. It's actually a manual crank-out awning. Now, it's a lot easier to manipulate than a lot of the old-style manual awnings. You have to, lift arms and stuff. There's just a little hook that hooks onto the awning, one of those awning arm heads, and you just sort of twist it out. It goes in and out actually faster than a power awning, which is nice. Now, it still has the same, obviously you see it kind of winging in the breeze. I'm going to have to put it away very shortly. With the same easy tilt and auto rain dump awning arms on here that the other LCI awnings would have. It's just a less expensive manual version for a less expensive tiny camper. But the extra little details like that we offer you here at Hideout RV, that's one of the benefits that you get in working with our dealership. We could have bit our tongue, we could have shut our mouth, and we could have sold this thing under the visual expectation that that was a power awning, and then you'd have got it home and you'd been like, oh, well, I guess it's not that big a deal. But we make sure that you are forearmed and forewarned and educated before you go handing us your paycheck. That's the difference between shopping with us here at Hideout RV, and I'm not going to say every place. I'm going to say some places. So, whether it's proper education, hitching pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, and everything in between, we do it all for you at Hideout RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.